Two vets, one mission. Smoke cigars and tell it like it is. No fluff, no filters, just raw, unfiltered cigar talk with a side of war stories and wisdom. This is the Smoked Debrief. Light up, lock in, and let's get to it.
Hey, I'm Jim.
And I'm Hollywood.
And this is the Smoked Debrief.
Today we're going to get fancy. We're going to smoke a Winston Churchill limited edition 2025, The Artist. 7x48 Churchill Vitola, made up of an Ecuadorian wrapper covering a Mexican binder and filler. Tobacco is grown in the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua.
And it is a beautiful box.
In keeping with the artist theme, the vista of each box features an image of a painting done by Churchill named Cork Trees near Mimizan. Let's show that to the audience. That's beautiful. In addition, the cigars inside each box are covered by a piece of wood that is designed to mimic a paint palette. Look at that.
Cool. It's pretty neat.
All righty.
One for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
One for me.
Jim and I both love Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
He'd be the guy that I'd want to have a dinner with if I could pick anybody from history.
Definitely.
Beautiful cigar. Wow.
Davidoff is...
We can't hear you because you're not talking into your mic, Jim.
Get this box back up. It's too pretty to leave out.
Why don't you put it up there and show turn the thing toward the audience so they can see the painting. Sorry, I'm just trying to, step up our game a little bit.
Okay.
Look at that beautiful box. Holy smokes. Oh, yeah. Beautiful, Jim. Well done. Excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Where did you get this box, Jim?
This came from Havana Phil's.
Is that in what city?
That is in Greensboro. It's an awesome cigar joint. Got a few smoking rooms, and I think they have a private bar. They serve mixed drinks, liquor, everything.
What drove you to buy these cigars, Jim?
It's Winston Churchill. It's got Winston Churchill on it, bro. Anything that has something to do with Winston Churchill, I'm going to do it. And it was a no-brainer. But they actually, Havana Fields did a video on Instagram showing the box and the cigars, and it was like, oh yeah. So I grabbed my queen and we drove to Greensboro that day.
Oh, is that right? Interesting at the beginning.
It is. I like it. Oh, there's a little spice. Just a little bit.
You can always tell a great cigar right at the beginning.
You feel that, how it just...
Yeah.
Leaving our cleaner out on the table. What are you doing?
What y'all missed during the break was Jim spilling his entire glass of bourbon.
I did spill my beverage, but it was not bourbon.
You keep saying that.
You don't see me crying.
You
If it was bourbon, I would have been
cried in
crying.
the intermission.
And I like it. It's kind of like in between the hero and the unicorn. Like if you're going to go steps, I would say the hero and then this and then the unicorn. So have you been doing your rehab?
I have been.
Religiously?
Religiously.
Okay.
Been going to the gym every other day, doing legs.
Are you doing any kind of Stairmaster or anything?
Bicycle.
Huh? Bicycle?
This is interesting. I can't pin down what it's going to smoke like yet. But it is a very interesting taste.
Label's nice too. The label has the artwork on it as well.
You know, your higher dollar cigars are great smokes.
They are good. This wasn't the unicorn, but
It was half the unicorn, right?
yeah, I think there's only 10 cigars.
$600, $500.
It was 5 something, I think. I have to look it up. Hey Siri, how much is a box of Winston Churchill Artist Series cigars?
Well, the presentation of the box alone is amazing. The painter's palette and the artwork.
Yeah,
that's a box you got to keep.
Beautiful. $4.90.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. It's better than the unicorn.
I would agree with that ascertainment.
It's
very
getting
complex.
better. Yeah, it's getting better.
Very complex.
Would you say that, like, say we wanted to open up, we wanted to start our own cigar company.
Yeah.
Would you, like, if we took this, an unsmoked one, and we reverse engineered, like we unwrapped it and checked each leaf and analyzed it, do you think we would be able to pinpoint where the origin of each one of the leaves and stuff as far as what was what?
No.
Do you think there's someone out there that could, without using scientific equipment, somebody that's such an aficionado of good smokes, they could say, oh yeah, that leaf, like they could take it and taste it and say, oh yeah, that's Dominican from field 9.
I don't think that you can
Nestor
tell.
Plazienza's field.
I don't think you can tell by after it's made.
I still have 2 hand rolled. When JR had the girl that was hand rolling up there, it's Nicaraguan. We'll have to do those on an episode because I have them, and I have them in the humidor in there just for us.
I think you have to decide in your mind what you want your cigars to be, and then you find a manufacturer and you have to go there. And
say, I like this.
And you find a blender, a master blender.
Yeah.
And then you say, this is the kind of profile I want. This is what I want it to taste like. And then they'll make it, and you tell them, oh, I want this to be more spicy or less spicy. And then they'll change the blend.
Yeah.
I think you have to describe to them what you're looking for. And the master blenders can do that. I don't have any doubt they can do that for you. Because that's what, the boys at Warfighter do.
Yeah. Oliva? Don't they use Oliva?
No, I think it's EP Carrillo, I think.
Oh.
In Nicaragua. I believe. I'm pretty sure that's who.
That would be a cool adventure.
Right?
Because I know you can, like, you look in the back of the cigar magazines, and there's always somebody, like, they private label cigars and shit. But it's like some shit tobacco place in Miami or somewhere.
Right, because they're just,
you're just getting the label.
That's right. That's
the
pretty
label's
much
the
all
only
you're
thing.
getting.
They're pulling rejects out of somebody's factory. What would you like your label to say? It's a boy.
Smoke at your own risk.
Yeah. But my marketing idea for, if we had a cigar that was close to this, very good, good smoke, I would market it to 7-Eleven, little mom and pop shops. You get it down, you get that price right where you had a 70, 80% margin.
The problem is getting a good cigar that's inexpensive.
Yes, that's true.
It's good and consistent.
Well, Dutch Masters seems to do a pretty good job of it.
I'm a have a Tampa man myself.
What we could do is like we're like under the label. You pull the label off and it separates, and there's like a little cubby hole where you can put whatever you want in there, and you put it back together and smoke it. Snoop Dogg's probably already got that.
Oh yeah. Well, this is going to be a super interesting smoke because it doesn't smoke yet like anything I've smoked.
Is yours? Turn yours around. Let me see. Yeah, yours is doing the same thing.
What?
Yours is doing this too.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I turn where it's smoking a little quicker. I turn that to the bottom and see if that changes it. Because that more heat will rise to the top and it should burn.
That's what
that
I was thinking. Yeah. I seen where you know that show.
See, that's doing it. That's straightening it out.
Yeah, mine's getting there, but still a little wompy jawed. You know that show Tires that was on Netflix? They got their second season out
With Shane Gillis, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm disappointed. Because I think Office Joe is a better show than Tires.
I agree.
But do you think
they have Shane Gillis?
They do have Shane Gillis, but so what? You know.
But he has a huge following.
He does have a huge following. I'm just kidding. I love Shane Gillis. I think he's funny as shit. When he does Trump, it's hilarious.
It is.
Do you think, and I don't know why, I have no idea how all this takes place, but do you think if Office Joe had came out on something like Netflix or Prime, that it would have been better accepted?
Of course it would have been.
So
it was very
it?
well accepted considering it had no publicity, no marketing. It was very well accepted. I think it's still like rated an 8.0 on Netflix, on IMDb, and it's, everywhere that it's rated very high.
Yeah.
I think if we had $200,000 to promote it, I think you could make it a hit.
Okay.
But
that's where season 2 comes into play.
You can't do season 2 if you don't have the money.
That's true. I think
it's all about the money.
I don't think that the movie and TV industry are as liberal as they claim to be, because if they were, we would be doing the shit for free.
What shit for free?
Everything. TV production, movie production, it would all be free. They just pay for it.
Everybody still wants to make money.
And I think that they should.
Here's a perfect example.
Okay.
If you could have got Chris Pratt to play Joe, Office Joe would have been a hit.
But you know what I think?
No, but you're going to tell me.
Okay, I won't.
I said you're going to tell me.
I know. You're going to tell me. But what? I think somebody would have then said, "Oh, it's a takeoff of Parks and Recreation." He was funny in that. It's weird to see him play the roles he plays now, and the way he was on.
Well, I see him as a comedic actor.
Yeah,
because he was the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm. Star-Lord,
very comedic guy.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the best Marvel.
But you couldn't have made Office Joe with it, Chris, because he would have wanted $2 million.
Would he really?
Yeah.
You don't think you could have man, we really would love to have you.
You can't get past his gatekeepers.
I guess so.
You can't get past his agent. You can't get past his manager. You can't, you can't get past the people whose job. He might have loved it. He might have thought, "Oh, this would be great. I'd love to do it." You're never going to get to him. That's what people don't understand. They think, "I'm going to get so-and-so in my movie." No, you're not, because you're not going to. Because first off, you have to be able to. They're going to say, "What are you offering him?"
So what you'd have to do is run into him in a restaurant or something, and accidentally slip a promo or something in his pocket, maybe a 20 for the
I think you'd have to establish a friendship.
Okay. So you run into him in a restaurant.
Maybe I do a movie as the gaffer.
Yeah.
And he's the star. And, you know, we start talking and we become kind of buddies, you know.
Cigars together.
Blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, like I have Ron Perlman's phone number because
Let's call him.
he and I did a movie together.
Give me the number.
Let me
I'll
see if
call
I
him.
have it. And,
You've got the dude that did that song.
He and I smoke cigars together almost every day at lunch on the back of the Grip and Electric truck.
You don't have a hair on your ass if you don't call him. And if he answers, and he'll go, "What do you want?" And you say, "Dude."
Let me show you something else.
So you need to call him and say,
You
"Ron Perlman, this is Hollywood Herd.
You don't do that.
How you smoking, bro?"
I haven't smoked to him and I haven't talked to him.
He's going to be, I think he's going to be at GalaxyCon. Gary Sinise. Well, I know he would pick up.
You know, so, but you don't do that because it's not cool.
I beg to differ with you, sir.
Okay, well, you can beg to differ with me all you want.
How about Bill Smitrovich? I'll call Bill.
I could call Bill.
What do you think?
I could call John Rice Davis.
John who?
Reese
Oh,
Davis. But they can't do it. You know,
so we couldn't get John Reese Davis to do like an intro for the Smoked Debrief? I sent him a bag of coffee or something.
no, we could,
already gave him a hoodie.
We could find out when he's in town, maybe, or in the area,
The
and get him to come by.
The GalaxyCon is the 20. Oh, Jesus. Hey, Siri.
Hollywood, nice job.
Oh, my John Thomas. Hey, Siri. When is the GalaxyCon in Raleigh? Holy shit, Soil Moon Fry is going to be there.
Who?
Soil Moon Fry, Punky Brewster. Susan Sarandon, Gina Davis, William Shatner, Giancarlo Esposito, Greg Clark, Karen Gillen, Dolph Lundgren, Wayne Knight, Soil Moon Fry, Gabriel Carteris, Jenny Garth, Ian Zering, Brian Austin Green, Jason Priestley, Tori Spelling, Michael Rooker. That would be a good one to go meet.
I did a movie with him, you know.
Sean Gunn.
A TV show called
Walking Dead?
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that Michael Rooker has a earpiece in, and there is someone reading his lines to him?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Corbin Burnson, Kristen Nelson, Kurt Fuller, Jodie Whittaker, Laura Bailey, Matthew Illard, Skeet Ulrich, Jamie Kennedy, Alan Robinson, Juliet Lewis.
It's a pretty big con.
Yeah. Peter Facinelli. I'm just mentioning the ones I know. Brent Spiner, Gates McFadden, Ross Marquand, Nick Swardson, Barry Bostwick. I met him last time. Megaforce. Watch out for the Megaforce. Do you remember that movie? They had the motorcycles. They pop the wheelie and shoot the rockets.
No, I don't.
Adrienne Barbeau.
She's still alive?
Evidently.
Escaped from New York.
Wait, no. They will have her corpse there with an auto pen signing autographs. Devon Sawa. Casper, the friendly fucking ghost, is going to be there. I wonder if Courtney knows. I'm going to have to screenshot this.
Why? Who did she like?
She was all about Devon Sawa. Billy Zane. We met him last time too. And Christy Swanson.
It's a pretty big con, man.
Yeah. Tickets are like $1,200.
What?
Yes, it's fucking nuts.
What?
If you can still get some. The rest of these are like cartoon voices. I have no idea.
Right.
But we went and met Tim Curry. Edward James Olmos. Kate, what's her name? I'm not bothered. Catherine Tate.
I didn't know that you were a con goer.
Oh, I went there. It was just kind of on a whim because me and my buddy Garrett, I said, "You want to go?" And he said, "Yeah." So I went and got it was only $500, and and we were meeting all these people. George Takei, Ron Perlman, Sonny Chiba, the guy who was in Deadwood. I can't remember his name, but he was the Chinese laundry guy. White cocksucker, that guy. He was there, and the guys from Clerks, The Office, Kevin from The Office, and who was the black guy? I can't remember the black guy's name. He was there. All of them are super nice. I mean, just so cool. But we went, and I told Garrett, I said, we need to milk this handicap shit. And he's like,
because Garrett's handicapped?
Yeah.
Is he in a wheelchair?
No.
Oh.
He has one, though. Well, I mean, he lost his legs, but he has
prosthetics.
He has prosthetics.
But you use the wheelchair thing or no?
We did.
You're so bad.
So we got to the head of every line, which I'd already bought VIP tickets because I don't like waiting in line.
Right.
So that gave us, we got to the front of the line. We still had to pay, but we got to the front of the line. And we went, and here's me and Garrett. He's in his wheelchair, and the people was just like we went. Edward James Olmos. We got up to see him, and we talked to him for like 15, 20 minutes, and he had everybody gave us our money back. They were like, "You don't need to pay. You're not paying," and they gave us our money back. But we got like many pictures. Like Edward James Olmos signed. He pulled out a Lieutenant Castillo and signed it, and and Battlestar Galactica, all this stuff. And then you remember Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
Smiley, the guy with dark hair, had like the red shirt, and he smiled all the time. Hey, Mr. Taggart, these are some good beans, He was there, and we didn't have to pay. And Catherine Tate, who is hilarious, and I gave her a shirt. I gave George Takei a shirt.
How many shirts did you have with you?
I took, I think I took like 3 or 4, but I didn't. The hard part was sizes. So
You just need a backpack with 50 shirts in it.
I ended up coming back with, I had XXLs. Ron Perlman was kind of a jerk, so I was like, he's not shirt worthy.
He is kind of a jerk.
George Takei, they weren't real personal. It was more like, you're there, click, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
But we actually, I just said, I have a shirt for you. And we got him, holding the shirt. We got a picture, me and Garrett and him.
It was funny because Ron had been kind of jerky to everybody on the set.
Except you, because you had smokes.
Well, I was sitting on the tailgate on the lift gate of the 10-ton, just at lunch, smoking a cigar, and he came by and he go, "Oh, what are you smoking?" I'm like, I forget what I was, an Indian or something from back in the day. This is like in the 90s or maybe early 2000s. And I said, and I reached in my pocket, I said, "You want one?" He goes, "Yeah." So and that's how that started. He approached me, I didn't approach him. And every day at lunch, then he would come and,
So, see, he approached you,
but
he was comfortable approaching you.
But because I was smoking a cigar.
But you're smoking a cigar now. You should be comfortable calling him.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
I know Ron Perlman watches this. He's a subscriber.
But, Ron is very
liberal.
Liberal.
Yes. Oh, I know. Good actor, though. I loved him in Hellboy, and Sons of Anarchy was great.
Yeah. The problem is people identify them with who their characters are, and they're not always as nice as their characters. Like, who the biggest asshole I've ever met was?
Robert De Niro?
No.
Who?
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson? Oh, I remember you were telling me about that.
Have you seen Tin Cup? That's his personality.
Oh, okay. Yeesh.
I did promos for Nash Bridges. Drove a grip and electric truck up from L.A. to San Francisco, and the director of the promos was Wally from Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah. I remember, that's
Tony
the guy
Dow.
was at the swinging club, wasn't it?
Did I tell that we already talked about that?
You told me about that story.
Did we talk about it on here?
I don't think so.
and his wife was
Tell
with
it.
him. They were super nice. I
Yeah.
mean, Tony was just the greatest, and fucking Don called him Wally the entire time. You know, that was his character. And,
What a dick.
yeah, and and if Don said, "This is my show" once, he said it 300 times. He was at least an hour late every day. You know,
This is my show.
you know, it was just, it's too bad, you know. But when you have people around you telling you how great you are every single
blowing
day,
smoke up your ass 24/7.
yeah, every single day, you know. I mean, you were that way on the set of Office Joe, you know, because you were being catered to. You were a dick.
Oh, I was definitely being catered to.
Hey, can we
my
use your
God.
car? Can we use your car for?
Oh my Lord. You know who I can't get no love from? Who was the guy that was in my car?
Jack Mandeville.
Yeah. I fucking posted a picture of me and him in the car. Can't get no like from him, nothing. No, hey, that was good. You know, enjoyed your car or whatever. I'm like, damn, I should have recorded his ass
That's
talking to
interesting because
himself the whole
Jack's a
time.
great guy.
I'm sure he was super nice.
Jack's the kind of guy that'd do anything for you. I called Jack up when I was doing the show Superstition in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I said, Jack, they need a guy to play a Marine Corps drill instructor. They flew him down from D.C., put him up.
Does he live in D.C.?
He was, at the time he did. He was dating one of Trump's advisors back then. Jack, the wildest, crazy.
Yeah, he is
always has
funny.
his shirt off, his hair looks like Bozo the Clown. And he came in, he did a great job as a drill instructor.
That
I'm sorry. He can't give you no love.
no, but we're doing a show now. You should call Jack Mandeville and say, "Hey, Jack, we're smoking cigars. We're talking about you." I wanted to well, you asked me you said we need a cool car, and it's like it was pretty cool. And the whole time we're driving, because you guys had us driving around there like 5 or
100
6 times. The whole time he's in the car practicing his lines and shit.
Have you ever watched Range 15?
What?
Have you not watched the movie Range 15?
Yes, I
Okay.
own a copy of it.
Okay.
I was one of the first. I got the download I have came straight from them, where you had to download it from their stuff and then you put it on your computer so you can watch it.
Oh, is that right? So
Yeah.
you knew about Range 15 in the beginning?
Yeah, and all the GoFundMe, and I remember when Dakota Miner, when he decided to be in it, and they were in a bar or something and they were talking about it and stuff like that, and I'd followed it since then because I was a big Article 15 shirt fan.
Fanboy.
Yeah, I like their shirts.
You probably were one of the first drinking bros.
Nope. Didn't really. I just didn't. I didn't think that was a great show. They had other podcasts like, was it Blackhearted, and it changed to Launch Code, and they talked about business. I thought that was great. Drinking Brothers, I never really got through because it just kind of struck me as kind of enabling. Like you have veterans who are having issues, and it just seemed like that kind of enabled.
Did you ever read the book At Night She Cries While he rides his steed?
Isn't that what's his name's?
Ross's book.
Yeah, I have not. No,
You should listen to that just for the pure
the
entertainment.
audiobook.
Just for the pure entertainment factor.
Who does the audio?
Ross does.
Of course he does. I saw a movie he was in.
Helen Keller and the Night Wolves.
No, it was probably one of his first movies. It was a mainstream movie. Accepted,
Really?
where they started their own university. He was like,
Oh, is that right?
Second or third co-star.
Smart guy. He took Range 15 and created an empire for himself.
For himself.
Yeah.
There you go. You know, it is, I mean, to a point where, you know, they all became friends and now they're all successful and everything. I'm not going to hate on that because, you know, more power to them. That's amazing because I know they busted their ass to get it.
But now they're not buddies anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
But that happens. You know, you can't take people who are minor celebrities. They become celebrities.
Yeah.
And think that 5 personalities are all going to be able to stay together.
You'll find the internal asshole.
Yeah.
Real quick. You and I are good friends, and I consider you one of my best friends.
Absolutely.
I've got friends that I've known, you know, since 6th grade. And like, because I'm not a liberal,
they're not friends anymore.
I haven't heard from him in probably 8 months. We used to text each other back and forth, and he doesn't work.
Right.
I know he's got time. He married into well off.
Right.
And it just kind of, it hurts my feelings because we, you know, always like, we didn't see each other for 20, 25, 30 years. And he moved back from Hawaii to South Carolina, and Carrie actually got him to come up for my birthday secretly and surprise me. And it was like we never missed a day. And it was so cool because, I mean, I was with him the summer before I went in the service. And then after that, we didn't talk. And I tried to contact him after I came home and had the business and had family, and we would go on vacation. And anytime we were close to Somerville, I would call. And his mom would always give me the runaround. I don't know where he's at, you know, which he was living Jimmy Buffett songs. That was what we wanted to do.
Just checking in to see how you're doing, Jack. I'm doing a cigar podcast today with the guy that drove you around in the Aston Martin when you played Dick Richards, and he asked me how you were doing. You know, Dan is very liberal.
Yeah. But really, does that matter?
But it doesn't matter.
It actually sometimes, you know, it makes for good conversation.
And, you know,
and if
it's
it doesn't,
good that I
then
see,
don't talk about
it's
it.
good that I see his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't consider myself ultra conservative. I consider myself middle of the road conservative. But
I guess I'm more of a libertarian.
You can't believe everything that CNN says, and you can't believe everything that Fox says. You can't.
Not at all.
You know, so
like I didn't know one of the kid that used to work for me, Brian, love him to death, but he has gone straight TDS liberal overboard. I mean, I have people texting me or messaging me saying, "What happened to him?" And it's like, I don't know, because he wasn't like that before, you know, when he worked for me. But I you know, whatever. I don't hold that against him. But you know, anytime I get like a new set of speakers, or I fix something, I would send him pictures and say, "Hey man, you need to come by the warehouse to see this." And then he sends me like a screenshot of one of the tweets that Elon Musk put out about Trump being on the Epstein list, and it kind of pissed me off.
Right?
Not that.
But he knows how you lean, and that's a bullshit thing to do.
And so I texted him back. I said, "Man," I said, "You know, when I text you stuff that we actually have a common interest in and enjoy doing." I said, "And you text me back this shit?" And he's like, and then he goes into this spiel about me admitting I was wrong for voting for Trump and all this stuff. I said, "No,
what?
No, I still voted for the right guy. The right person got elected. I'm not, you know, there's no damn way." And it hurts my feelings because I don't take that shit so serious. I guess I do, because when he did it, hurt my feelings.
But if he hadn't have, you knowing how he is wouldn't have upset you.
I don't. Because I don't let that affect our friendship. But
You see, he sees things different. I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to say, you know what? That's your right and your choice. And we're not going to talk about it because, we don't believe we don't think the same, but that doesn't mean you're not my friend.
yeah,
But when you ram it down my throat, it means I can't be friends with you.
that takes precedence over the friendship.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I've got one of my other clients that I used to do stuff for all the time, and I still do. They are fairly wealthy. Well, they're wealthy. It's old ass money. And they are Democrats, tried and true. Don't waver. Well, they have a place in Palm Beach, and they live next door to Rush Limbaugh. And they played golf with him. And I was over at their son's house, and I was like, how do they get along? And he said, Rush Limbaugh, he said, they just don't talk politics. He said, Rush Limbaugh is funny as hell. And he said, they love each other. They get along so good. They play golf all the time. They just don't talk politics. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's
How are you supposed to have a conversation with somebody if they can't just accept that you might have a different religious belief? That's never been a thing. Like, hey, before we become friends, are you a
Muslim?
Yeah, are you a Muslim?
Because you're a Muslim, I'm a Christian. We can't see, that's bullshit.
Or are you a Democrat or a Republican? And I love it because one time he said, "Oh, your party's doing really good." I said, "What are you talking about, buddy? I became an independent 2 years ago." It's not my party.
And I wish I understood it because I don't. I don't understand. Like, if you voted for Kamala Harris, that doesn't make me judge you and think that you're an idiot. That's your right. I just don't understand.
It's just a different opinion.
Yeah. It's so hard to figure out that there's a lot of people that say the most ridiculous shit on Facebook from both sides.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you really think that? Like, poor Bill. I love Bill Smitrovich.
Yeah.
Great guy. Give you the shirt off his back, but he spent the entire time of Trump's first presidency every single day saying he wished he would die. And I can't.
And he, like, when I met him, when he was up there doing the podcast, he gave me his number. He said, "Here, what's your number?" And he texted me his. He said, "Now you got my number." And it comes up, Lefty Smitty. So I knew what to expect, but I knew also what not to say. And
but he's left-handed.
Yeah,
that's why he's Lefty Smitty.
Okay,
just so you know, he's left-handed.
Well, you already told me that he was.
But he is
extreme.
But it affected him so viscerally, and I don't.
You notice, like, it's like actors and stuff. Some of them, the TDS is a bit much on the actors. Do you think it's maybe just a little bit of jealousy because Trump has that viral?
I don't think it's
popularity.
I don't think it's jealousy. I think they truly believe he's a Nazi. No, I do. I think they truly believe.
Well,
and he does shit that makes you think.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
He wishes he was a dictator.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. Think
and I look at it as like, yeah, maybe he does. And if he ever tried to do that, then I'd be the first one marching on Washington. But I also think that it's impossible to get anything done without being over the top.
Yeah. But if he ran as a Democrat,
it's just amazing if you look 15 years ago at Trump and how everybody loved him. Oprah
was like, "I'll run with you."
all of those people, they loved Trump. He won multiple NAACP awards.
Yeah.
He was, and then all of a sudden, he was the Antichrist.
I think,
and maybe he is the Antichrist, but he's been that guy all along.
Yeah.
He's been the same guy he is all along. I think it started the minute he became a part of the Republican Party. That's when I think it started. Because I think that Republicans think the Democrats are the Antichrist, and the Democrats think the Republicans are the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the TV show House of Cards?
Yep.
Because you know that shit's going on all the time, just like that.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. From both sides. It's a super interesting smoke. It's not like anything I've ever smoked before. I mean, it's a great smoke, but it's just different. The flavor profile is incredible, but there's no nailing it down what it is, for me anyway. I don't have the palate that these expert cigar smokers have.
Yeah. I think 75% of that's bullshit anyway.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I just know that I'm enjoying the shit out of smoking it.
I can't, like,
even though you picked it.
When I drink coffee or something, I can't pull the notes out or anything like that where I taste it. Carrie can. She can, like, sit there and pick it apart. It takes her a couple of sips, but she'll pick it apart, and she's got a palate for that. I just don't have the palate. I mean, I'll taste it, and if it's good, I'll keep drinking it. If it's bad, I'll probably keep drinking it too.
But there's obviously something about your coffee that is it's good because you're successful.
I think at the shop, I think it's because we give a shit, and we're constantly making sure that the grounds are right, that the right amount is being put in the brewers. Because like on the espresso machine, we're constantly changing the grinder settings because the humidity and the weather outside affect how it is inside.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it can change the the weight of a espresso shot, all that. So we're constantly having to adjust that. That's why grinders are expensive. The grinder we got, that bad boy was like $4,000, and it's got a temperature. If the beans are at a set temperature before it grinds them, which is crazy. But it's just it's one of them fancy things. And I think the people that work for us can appreciate that too, and we try to make them understand, it is just coffee, but there's a right way to brew it and a wrong way to brew it. And this is the way we brew it. And so as long as they pay attention to those little small things, the big things fall right into place. And everybody has a good time. And if the employees are having a good time, the customers see that. The customer's having a good time. So right now we've got music war going on because we've got one barista, and I let them pick their own music, and she picks music for the morning that when you're listening to it, you kind of just want to go slit your wrist or something. And I mean, I'll come in there, I'm like, what are we listening to? So I'll go back and change it. Well, she gets upset because, she can't play her playlist. Well, everybody else's playlist is upbeat because it's a coffee shop. so she's, we've had customers say something, that music's really not appropriate for the morning.
Well, it's about the customers. That should answer that should be the answer right there.
And we told her, we had a customer say something, so we need to. You can play your stuff, but make sure you mix it with others. And but
they don't want it. They don't want that. They want their. See, that's the problem. Again, there's no for everybody. It's what I want, and that's it.
Well, Courtney told her.
Really, Courtney spoke up.
Yeah, Courtney told her. Well, Courtney told her that because the customer, it's more than one customer, said something. We're going to have to change it up. So, I'm going out there. I don't usually get into it. But I go out there and I'm just kidding around. And I said, and I was like, dang, thanks. Now Courtney's got to take over the music, and this barista goes back and tells Carrie that I was bullying her when I said that, when I was doing that. And Carrie's like, no, Jim Young is not going to bully you. He's the last person that will bully you. So, and then like, why not say something to me? If I hurt your feelings or something about something else, tell me, and I'll apologize and I won't kid around with you anymore. But I don't know. It's just the, generation that you just don't know what's going to get them butt hurt, when you're just kidding around. And it's not like I don't do that every day. I'm not in there flirting with them or anything like that.
Old white man. Worst person on the planet, buddy.
We had this one girl, I had to fire her. This was one time, usually with the girls, Courtney does the firing, and then I will do the firing if it's a guy. Well, we had this one girl, and Courtney actually told me, you're going to have to fire her. And she kept telling me well, this girl actually said to Courtney, this girl was going out at night and getting these Tinder hookups with guys who were in South Carolina. And she would drive to South Carolina, have her little fling, and then come ambling in late in the morning for her shift. And she was up front. Yeah, I hooked up with this guy in South Carolina, and I tried to get back in time, but whatever. And Courtney told her, Courtney said, maybe you need to hook up with people closer. If you're going to hook up on Tinder with people, maybe you need to hook up closer. And she turned around and told Courtney, well, you're just not pretty, so you don't know what it's like. And I'm like,
did Courtney
bitch
deck her?
Said what?
Did Courtney knock her out?
Courtney's feelings. So, Courtney comes back and she's in tears. And
you're just not pretty, so you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
How?
So
Courtney should have said, maybe I'm not a whore, so I don't know what it's like.
It kept on, and she got to where she was bad-mouthing other employees in front of customers and stuff. And it was, that was the final straw. And Courtney came back, and I said, okay. So she came in, and it was payday, so I gave her check. And I said, I need to see you before you clock in. And she came to the back and sat down, and Carrie and Courtney were there because I always have to make sure I have witnesses. And I told her, I said, it's time we parted ways. So, and immediately she started crying. And Carrie and Courtney were like, oh, no. And I said, nope, we're not doing that. It's time for you to leave. You can go out the back door. Because that's why they wanted me to fire, because they knew, that was going to, the little tearjerker. But it's just crazy. And she was, when she was there, she was a good worker, but she just like talking shit, running her mouth, being a little hoe. I ain't got no problem with somebody being a hoe on their time, but you ain't going to be a hoe on my time.
This is the serious podcast today.
Yes.
We're being very serious and very retrospective and introspective, which is, I think, a perfect conversation for this introspective cigar, which is an amazing cigar, but indescribable.
The views of the podcasters don't necessarily reflect the reviews, the opinions of their sponsors.
And
Oh, the producers too?
Wait, we're the producers, so I guess the sponsors.
I don't care. It's still going on YouTube. And they can watch it and they'll know, hey, he's talking about me. That's right. We've got some great kids that work at the shop. And you'll get some kids in there and they're
Can you give me the burner?
Huh?
I'm going, but I need to.
They work well, and we start them out at a certain pay, and then depending on how they've worked over the first couple of weeks, they get a pay raise. And we've got a couple of girls that are just great, and I say girls because they're female, but anyway. They work great and they're happy. They love working there because it's fun. They enjoy it and everything. We want more of that. And they don't mind, like this one girl, Rachel, she's the first person we hired. And she's family. She's Carrie's cousin's daughter, whatever. Second cousin, I guess that would be. And we were her first job. And she's awesome. She's been working for us for 7 years.
Wow.
And she's just great. I mean, she's cute. She's always smiling. She knows the customers because she's been there. And she's just, she worked her way into where she's confident and she knows how to do stuff because she was really shy. But she's just changed and it's great. And I'd love to have 20 more of her because I could open up more stores. and she's awesome. It's just.
Are you making enough money paying all your bills and everything, Jim?
The bills are paid and the employees are paid. And
it frightens me to think about, I'll be honest with you. It frightens me to think about you opening another store because where are you going to find the time?
Well,
and if you or Carrie's not there, it's not going to be the same, buddy.
Yeah, it would be like, it's not going to be a store where we couldn't go to quick. But.
Because nobody cares about it.
I know.
Nobody cares as much as you do.
You can give them an incentive though, and it would be because I would probably be the one that could get away more, and I would be going and making sure everything. And Courtney would go because Courtney could go. She could schedule it to where she's able to go to another place and do it. But right now, where we're at now, we have hit our limit of what we can do because the size of the store, we don't have a drive-through. The parking is limited because we have people that, if there's no parking, they won't stop. And there's a lot of times parking lots full.
You're turning a lot of businesses away.
Yeah. So if we had a standalone place, where we could have a drive-through and a larger parking lot, I don't really like having a drive-through because assholes use the drive-through most of the time, and I'm not one that would let somebody be mean to our people. That respect works both ways. And I don't mind if there's a problem, somebody says something. We want to know if we've done something wrong. But the only thing is though is if I found a standalone place, my rent would be tripled. And right now, and the way things are right now, it's fine, just steady.
Any chance of you taking over the place next door?
Nah, I probably not because they're pretty successful.
Are they? Unless
he makes the landlord so mad. I have, I've made mention like, if they make you mad, I'll take that spot. But it'll happen. There's going to be an opportunity and we'll know it. And I would love to buy a spot, but then again, I'm like, at my age, do I want to get in debt like that again? Because our houses are paid off. Got one car payment. So other than taxes, you know, can't get away from that shit. Oh, dude, I got a letter Courtney, the property that Courtney was living in. You know, Carrie's grandfather, Bob.
Right.
He used to go over there and mow it. Well, since he hit 100,
his mowing days are done.
Yeah, it was a huge drop. Like 3 months after he hit 100, like he was driving everything, and now he can't live by himself. And he's in Michigan right now, but we got we got a letter. Courtney hadn't been able to mow the yard. Well, and it's rained like hell, so the grass is. And we got a letter from the city of Graham, gave us 10 days to get it mowed, or they were going to mow it and then put a lien on the property to pay for it. So we got it mowed. I called the guy that was mowing ours, and I said, "Go over there and mow that one for me, please." And he called me.
I'm going to need a bigger mower.
He said, "This is a lot of work. It's very overgrown." I said, "Just handle it. Let me know." And so they got it. Well, Grandpa told Courtney he could have her lawnmower, so we went and got his lawnmower, and so it's over there now, and they're able to mow it. But after I had it mowed by the landscape guys, it rained like hell again for like another week and a half. And I get another damn letter from Graham giving me 10 days to get the damn grass mowed. And it's like, do you think I'm going to go out there and fucking mow that yard when it's pouring down rain? And find out, I'm on the Historical Resources Board and the Planning and Zoning Board in Graham. And the lady who does the minutes is the one who sent the letter. And I cannot wait till I see her again at the next board meeting. So I'm going to be like, "Yeah, did you go by and see my yard?
The thunder.
Did you see my yard? It's been mowed. Did you see it?" The Historical Resources, the chairman was trying to figure out, like if we told a business in the historical area that they could or couldn't do something. If we told them they couldn't do it and they did it anyway, she thought that there's got to be some kind of punishment, or something for them not abiding by the Resource Commission's, decision. And I stood up. I said, and the clerk was like, that lady wasn't there. The secretary recorded the minutes. She wasn't there that night. But the guy who's over the zoning and everything, he's the assistant, and he said something like, "Well, we could give them like 30 days or 45 days." And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "I got a note about my yard being longer than 10 inches, and it gave me 10 days. I said, "So I think 10 days would suffice." And everybody started laughing. It's like, and then afterwards, he came out there and told me, he said, he said it used to be 12 inches. And he said it got really crazy. He said, so we had to go down to 10. And
you said, "Don't worry, it was like 22 inches when they went over to cut." This might be the most interesting smoke in the world. Because at the end, it's getting a little powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
It's getting powerful. I'm surprised that you're still smoking it.
I am too. I think this is it, though. I don't know if I can go 5. Sorry, buddy. We got to do your air conditioner anyway.
Okay. As long as you don't think you'll fuck it up. It specifically says
R134 is R134.
It specifically says if you don't know what you're doing, you'll fuck it up. That's what it said on the intranet.
Well, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
No, I believe you, bro. You're my man.
I've been watching.
I've I've been watching internet videos. I've always wanted to work on a
been
Range
watching-
Rover air conditioner.
I've been watching old Police Story episodes, and the last few that I watched have got Don Meredith. You know,
Dandy
and
Don.
wasn't he a football player?
He was a quarterback for Dallas.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure.
And
Dandy
he
Don
was
Meredith.
on them, and I know he did the Lipton tea commercials. That good, smooth Lipton tea. And then Wilford Brimley. That stuff will give you diabetes.
I did a movie with Wilford Brimley.
Did you really? It wasn't the one where he rode the lawnmower across country, was
no,
it?
it wasn't Wilford Brimley. Hold on. It was
What should be somebody total opposite of Wilford Brimley?
no, it's not someone the total opposite. Corbett?
Oh, Corbin.
No,
Corbin,
the old guy.
Yeah, he was in Northern Exposure.
What's that guy's name?
Corbin, something Corbin. Barry Corbin.
Barry Corbin.
There you go.
He was great.
He's funny. He's a Texan, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's so good. He was so good in that. He was so good in that.
All right, so what do you think?
Bro, this is a monster. I mean, it really
Insanely
is. It's
good.
like the most interesting smoke in the world.
Yeah. The Winston Churchill, the artist from Davidoff, limited edition, in this sexy box with the palette, the artist palette.
And the painting by Winston Churchill.
Yep.
You better keep that box within your visual range at all times, Jim, because you know what's going to happen if you don't.
Yeah, somebody won't be taking that.
You'll be
thing.
looking for it. You'll be like calling me up.
Where the hell my box?
I don't know what you're talking about, Jim.
Hey, we appreciate you watching. This has been the Smoked Debrief. I'm Jim Young.
I'm Hollywood Hurd, and this has been the Davidoff Winston Churchill artist. Incredible smoke.